Okay, so welcome back to part 11. I'm just about to put some paint down on the just slightly damp paper, okay? Now this is really starting to dry nicely. So you can see as I put down the okay, great. Now I've got my reference in front of me. It's so important. So think like you're drawing with paint. Okay. Now I'm going to come back with one of my shorter haired brushes. So you could use a smoosh. This is Silver Monza short round, but your smoosh will be fine. Now I'm happy with that. That's taken nicely and I didn't need to do much. Let's come back and add a bit of Africa. All right, now we can see that I've gone in quite strong. And the idea is, now I'm going to come back with my shorter haired brush. Just gives me a bit of control. And I've put a bit of water on the brush because this is drying really quickly. Oh yeah. There we go. So just extending some of the pigment out a little bit further. Now it's a little bit patchy, but I'm not panicking, okay? I'm coming back with I'm just putting paint on the same brush because I don't want to be faffing around with different brushes. I just want to get it on. All right. All right. Okay. Africa's looking a little soft around the edges, but hey, could be a bit darker, but that's all right. I'll come back. I've still got my highlight, which is really important, and it's building up. Okay. Now let's have a look. I think this is, yeah, it's dried. So I'm going to leave that. I'm pretty happy with that for now. Okay, we'll come back with the next application. Now, let's go over here. And again. Applying the water nice and slowly. Right. Oops, sorry. Okay. All right, so that's coming along nicely. Now, I'm going to come in with this one with the brighter red mix. Okay, so where am I? Here we are. This one. Okay. Now, I might even make it just a tad brighter still. Add a bit of red. This is it here, above the dark mix. Just do a little testing. Oh yeah, I'm happy with that. That's good. This is a test. All right. Now, this is, I'm just going to give it a little bit more. And then I'm going to apply the paint in this area here, around the highlight. And that's the shoulder, right, area of this. Here and along here, right, of this plum. All right. Oh, yeah. Yippee. So this is fun. Getting that pigment in. Now keep looking at your subject. And I know it's easy to get caught up in where the paint's going and what it's doing, but you just focus on that subject. Now what are we going to call this? Africa. Okay, we're going to call it Antarctica, because it's sort of like, yeah, I'm calling it Antarctica. I don't know why, but I'm calling it Antarctica, okay? So that's the name, and it's sticking. Beautiful. I'm happy with that. All right, and I'm letting the paint do its thing. I'm not panicking, I'm not. All right, now I'm going to come in with, I'm going to add a little bit more red to that darker version. I just want to lift it ever so slightly so it's not as dark as the shadow on the first one we did. All right. And I'm going to apply a bit of paint along here. Alrighty. I used the same big brush, but I'm coming back with the shorter haired brush. So you could use your smoosh. Now note how I'm leaving a little bit of a gap, right? Really important. But if you haven't, again, don't worry. Now, let's get, I'm going to work quickly. I want to get a little bit down here, not too much. All right. You've got to remember the pigment's strong, so you don't need a lot of pigment. All right. And going to add just a little touch of, which one? That shadow area that I just used, and I'm going to add it just a tickle in here where there's that little dimple. Okay, now is it still wet up here? I'm going to add a little bit of water to up here, okay, because it's starting to dry, and I want to keep it a bit damp. All right. Okay, now I want to sort of just define this keyhole area. Right, and oh, we're into 10 minutes, 11 minutes. I'm going to keep going. We're nearly done. And I created a bit of an orangey brown in the class, which has Indian yellow, a bit of quin red, and then I just dabbed in the tiniest bit of sorry, I'm just looking for my testing bit of paper. It seems to have disappeared. Oh, there it is. So it's Indian yellow, quin red, and then I've just put in a tad of ultramarine green shade just to brown it off. And I'm using a very light tea mix, and it's quite watered down. And because you can see at the back of the image, there's like a sort of a brown, sort of borderline brown hue on that edge, but I'm coming in with something lighter because I don't want to go in with sort of browns, etc. too early, because it will look really dull, and we don't want it to look dull. It's easy to go from bright to dull than dull to bright when you're painting. Now I'm going to come back with a tad of that mid-tone, just a hint at the back here. You can see how little pigment I'm using. And I'm also going to use, is this quin red? Yeah, just the hint of quin red down here. In the bowl. Yeah, nice. Okay, and that is the first application that we did in class. So that's, you can see how it shifted and how the chroma is starting to build up. All right. Okay, I'll see you back for the next session.